Okay, we are moving on to our decimal mini unit for rational numbers. What you're going to be able to do today is calculate with positive and negative decimals. Specifically today, all you're going to do is add and subtract. That's what you can do today. When you add decimals, you line up the decimal. That's the how-to. You have to know you don't line up digits with decimal. You line up the decimal when you're adding or subtracting. And then you also need to remember the integer rules when you're combining different signs. The first thing you do is take their difference, and then you determine sign. That was like that third warm-up question when I said describe the process for adding different signs. So you subtract them and determine which one has more. I don't know why I made it so technical here. I'm more of a visual person. I want to kind of just quickly look without reading. What I would write down is if they're the same, you add it. If they're different, you subtract. And then minusing, you need a plus and negative. And you've been doing that for a long time now. Okay, let's do this front page, and that's all we're going to do today. So 12.03 plus 4.2. So I'm going to line it up vertically, and I'm going to line up my decimal. So 12.03 plus 4.20. Notice that I put a placeholder 0 because I wanted to know which digits go together. So again, it was 4.2. But then I don't have anything by the 3, so I needed to add my placeholder 0. And then you go right to left. 0 plus 3 is 3, 2, decimal, 4 plus 2 is 6, 16.23 would be the sum. Okay, next one, 11.91 minus 3.17. And this is where students get a little grumpy with plussing and the negative. They're like, do I plus the negative or do I subtract? It's really honestly equivalent. And at some point you will understand that. But minusing is the same thing as plussing a negative. I would plus a negative, but it's really, they're different, so you're just going to subtract them anyways. It's truly the same thing. So minus 3.17. And then right to left. So I can't take 7 from 1, so I'm going to borrow. 11 minus 7 is 4. 8 minus 1 is 7. Decimal comes down. 11 minus 3 is 8. And I have more positives because I have 11 positives and 3 negatives. Around-ish, not specifically. Okay, the next one, we have minusing a negative. What happens with minus a neg? I need to plus it. So this is really just 4.12 plus 3.2. So I'm going to line it up vertically and find the sum. And it would be positive because they're both positive. Okay, in this whole unit, this whole little baby decimal mini unit, you are not allowed to use a calculator, so everything has to be longhand for you today. Okay, now I'm adding different signs, so I'm just going to refresh my memory. If they're different, we're going to subtract, so I'm going to actually subtract them. So I'm going to go 64.63 minus 21.378. I'm going to add a placeholder 0 above the 8. And then I'm just going to start borrowing. Again, you go right to left. So I'm going to borrow 1 from the 3. Now I got to borrow 1 from the 6. 2, decimal, 3, 4. So 43.252. And then I have to determine my sign. Do I have more negatives or more positives? Negative. So it would be a negative 43.252. Okay, almost done. 22.5 minus 32.1. Plus a negative. Again, same thing as subtracting, it's just the order gets different. So 22.5 plus a negative 32.1. They're different, so I'm going to subtract. So 32.1 will go on top, minus 22.5. I'm going to borrow. 11 minus 2 is what? 9. And then I determine my sign. I have 22.5 positives, 32.1 negatives. My negative has more, so the sum would be negative. And last example, negative 12.1 plus 14.89. They are different, so I'm going to take their difference. I'm going to add my placeholder 0, subtract right to left, determine sign. So there's more positives, so it's going to be a positive answer. So, learning target today, you can add and subtract positive and negative decimals, applying the integer properties.